Hello, hello, my beloved waking gods and goddesses. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. Do it yourself awakening for divine in the flesh. Now, with replays on IGTV at dakini.kiss, where together we learn how to surf and navigate the ups and downs of the totality of human experience, composing a new earth beyond the limitations of this perception and managed reality matrix of five senses, having discovered our true divine creative natures in our true sensual sensorial universe of seven senses, creating formless into form. Before we get started, please do give this video a thumbs up. Please also hit the subscribe button, hitting the notification bell, selecting the all settings so that the YouTube will let you know when I upload next. I generally upload Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern. My name is Maria West, and I am your hostess of the highest, here to download, upload, inspire, and usher you into your bestest and brightest selves, your bestest and brightest light, and inviting you all to open your hearts wider and wider and wider still. Hello, my love bugs, my honey bunnies, my divine ones. Welcome to episode 157. This is part 12A of our 13-part video series regarding the lessons and levels of relationships from unconscious to conscious, in and out of the matrix. And in today's video, this is the first part of an excellent discussion about the death of love. Familiarity. Be with me right now, born of consciousness. No past, fresh, open for love. That's a haiku from Shriimate, under the bushes or hiding in the bushes, whatever it is. Okay, now the way we were, how do we begin relationships? Now, I want you all to think carefully about this question before answering it, and you will realize the truth of what we all seem to do. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship we explore, they all begin the same way, born of the past, right? It's especially true of love relationships. From my direct personal experience with my own process, holding space for friends and family, including my clients, and from listening to all of the thousands and thousands of stories from folks sharing their relationship stories in private sessions and groups and forums. And even before the first official date for some folks, during the initial phone calls, the emails, the texts, instant messages, and online dating nonsense, and perhaps a coffee, what do we actually do? We speak of the past, do we not? We spill the beans of our relationship woes, often doing so indiscriminately and sabotaging a potential love connection by scaring them away with our excessive verbiage, committing the social faux pas of TMI, too much information. We tell each other about our most previous relationships, why it did and didn't work, how the breakup occurred, who's to blame. We get down, we get dirty about the repeated pattern storylines, timelines, and subplots, and pontificate with our friends and potential lovers about the nuances of our ex-significant others. We analyze every interaction, what it meant when he said this and why she did that. In reply, we prattle on and on, maintaining endless catalogues in our past relationship mental file cabinets, categorized by the good, the bad, the beautiful, the hideous, the ones that got away, and the ones we sabotaged and their failures. We obsess about the lies, the truths, the hurts, the betrayals, the vengeance, the drama, the bliss, and the ultimate trauma of it all. We intellectualize about our ongoing search for the one, or at least one who can get us off really, really hard, or spring for a really expensive meal in the meantime. We compare notes, dissecting conversations of the past and present and maybe future, searching for love in it all. There is a slight edge of discomfort, no matter how much fun it may be to recount past stories. The egoic minds are activated and on guard, and a new set of storylines arise. How does the new dating prospect compare with the last one? We enter a new relationship with a list of do's and don'ts burned into memory from the previous breakup. Our selfish wants are held either in our hands or tucked away in secret into our pockets, purses, and journals, or buried deep in our unconscious or subconscious, waiting for triggers to release the avalanche of emotions that results in a new story to tell. Pretty mind-blowing, right? We cast ourselves out on a line or literally online, making lists and bobbing around in the sea of love's potentials, awaiting a bite from a fellow trawler, right? Physical preferences, sexual proclivities, monetary requirements, ethnicities, religions, and spiritual compatibilities, and anything else of perceived value are requested as needs up front. I mean, we might as well get it over with, right? Yet history manages to repeat itself despite all of this effort to declare what we desire or no longer desire. We never seem happy with those who nip at our bait, even when they meet the specific qualifications. We want to change a potential beloved into someone and something they are not and never will be. Oh, because the distraction is actually within us and the dissatisfaction is raring to be repeated. And it's not about us or our beloved at all. We're all hypnotized. We're all being led around by the relationship programs and shit shows within the matrix. And before we realize it, we are not ourselves, are we? We are not being authentic and enter hypervigilance mode. Instead of seeking a healthy new relationship, we've actually settled for playing the low-level seduction game. We lie and commit relationship fraud by presenting a different persona to a new potential someone than who we really truly are, fearing that we won't measure up to the expectations born in the past, warts and all. So we run the other way. But even scarier is the scenario that this new someone doesn't see our horrible past program flaws and gasp, decides to stick around and attempt to get to know us more intimately. In our attempts to appear special, that is, nothing at all like our potential beloved's ex, right? We risk camouflaging what truly makes us unique. This equation works both ways. Our beloved wants to be unique and special and different for us too. No one really sees or meets anyone as they really are because we're too wrapped up in embodying the perfect little romantic stories we've created about how a relationship should be. It is a recipe for disaster and failure every single fucking time, okay? We all know this. Take two people, prospective beloveds, in the earliest stage of dating. Each projects an image or two or three or four upon the other to measure up to, while simultaneously offering their own perfect self-image and best face forward for approval. Before even a seed of a potential relationship can sprout, there is such a complex maze of projections, personas, past programming, and false images for each person to dig through that it's nearly impossible to establish any kind of authentic foundation on which to build a conscious relationship that's desired, right? Pretty soon, we discover ourselves at the core, dressed in unfamiliar garb, donned in relationship costumes and masks of imaginary, fantastical self-imagery. We stand firmly behind a complex facade erected to serve the story of who we think our potential beloved will find more lovable and attractive, right? In the process, we've neglected the present moment. We've neglected to present who we really are, our true divine selves. And the disguise is based on fear that who we really are can never possibly live up to a beloved's perceived fantasy. But hey, wait a minute. Isn't all the drama kind of fun and exciting? He or she could be the one. We wait to see if the seduction game pays off and move forward with blinders on, dragging a heavy, enormous, double wide load trailer of relationship baggage behind us into each new encounter. This is where all the fun begins. We cruise along for a while, seemingly happy in the relationship world we've created until bang, the next big oopsie. How did that happen again? We were so careful. We told the right stories that were so masterfully crafted. We analyzed everything perfectly, did the inner work, and made sure not to repeat past mistakes. Yet here we are, hooked up with yet another inappropriate, someone completely different from the person we thought was our beloved. How is it possible to be such a bad judge of character time after time after time, again and again, right? The problem isn't our ability to judge another's character. Why? We weren't real through the relationship. So how could we possibly know what was real or not real about our beloved? The person we've been in past relationships becomes the foundation for who we are in each new encounter, whether it's to repeat old comfortable habits and mistakes over again and again, or to evolve our relationship story to a conscious higher ground. He invited me. Let's get completely naked. Okay, you first, love. Who are you? When living in the unconscious shallows of love, you are not yourself. You're not. As long as you reside in the shallow, love will continue to elude. And since you've read this far, you've listened this far, you're obviously not satisfied with just having sex to get off, nor the back-breaking, pain-in-the-ass habit of trying to mold someone into something and someone they are not. Now, if you really love me, you'll change. Okay, that whole thing, that is not about love at all. It's just a notion that quells selfish inner fears at the expense of your beloved's right to be who they are. Feel into this and think about it. How much do you really enjoy receiving the "if you love me, ... ultimatum from a beloved or family member? Not so much, right? I'm pretty confident, not so much. There's no enjoyment in that, right? It feels like a dismissal or outright rejection of the authentic self, of your authentic self, whether from your beloved or from you or vice versa. It's not a good thing. Real love, true love, accepts people as they are, my friends. This acceptance inspires the unfolding of love, co-creating a juicy, open-hearted life filled with curiosity, delight, and enjoyment in relationships. Now, listen up. If you feel the need to change your beloved to be happy, or your beloved must change for you to feel loved in the relationship, please do yourself, your beloved, and the planet in general a big favor. Let go of that beloved and move on. This type of conditional connection is not love. This is control of circumstances and of another person's right to be as they are and be different from you. It's also a cumbersome, dramatic, and disrespectful way to be in a relationship. Do not do it. When stuck in the mode of control, stuck in the matrix, there is healing work to do. You need to do the great work. If you need another person to be a certain way in order for you to be happy, it means you are not accepting or happy about something within yourself. So, how about you heal this inner controller and relationship saboteur by doing your great work? Endeavor to align with the best in everyone who engages you by seeing each person as empowered and divine, even if you think they are far from either state of being. Then challenge those thoughts. The universe trots imperfect people into your life to mirror back something you are ready to learn about yourself. You spot it, you got it. I love that so much. You spot it, you got it. Remember to notice the positives too, because the mirror works just as readily for compliments and kudos as it does for complaints, judgments, criticisms, evaluations, and projections. Focus on seeing each individual as a physical manifestation of that one man or one woman, divine and incarnate, who presents their best presence whenever they are in your energy field. When their energy is not aligned with yours, it is simply elsewhere and nowhere around your energy. Releasing the temptation to participate in control frees you to be as you are, honest, trustworthy, open, and loving. This is the ultimate freedom, my loves. The capacity to make another happy is grounded in your own happiness and freedom from concern about what others think. Ultimately, the divine invites each of us to embody the courage to stand alone as a pillar of divine light and love, and do so without the reflection and validation of another. Did you hear that? A longtime friend and client endearingly called her husband of over 30 years a muggle. Okay, this is a true story. A term straight out of the Harry Potter books series that describes a person who lacks any magical abilities. Now, for many years, she struggled to change him into something and someone he absolutely is not and never will be. And I know him. He's very dear. She made him wrong about him being himself. He's an engineer. So as an engineer, he was a quiet hermit, preferring his solitude. And he was a really, really good guy. Dependable, geeky, intelligent, logical, mental, thoughtful. He didn't really reveal his feelings. She was the complete antithesis, highly kinetic, like all over the map, really loud, emotional, flighty, touchy-feely, intuitive, excitable, and a social butterfly. Now, in our work together, okay, she did some programs with me. She had to face her self-rejection of being who she is and how she is. And she soon discovered that she was overlaying her own unresolved issues of her own self-acceptance and self-criticism and self-rejection all over her husband, who was quite frankly content being himself, by constantly complaining to him for being boring, too nerdy, too socially inept. And as she moved into greater self-acceptance by healing her own traumatic past of being criticized continuously, stifled, and rigidly controlled by her Christian fundamentalist father, yeah, imagine that, she was able to dissolve her desire and propensity to try to control and change her husband. Now, as a journaling exercise, I had her make a list of all her husband's qualities and a list of all her qualities. Now, these lists were quite revealing in that she discovered that they were actually quite well matched, and their respective gifts beautifully interfaced and interlaced with one another, which allowed them to shine equally. Now, this magical blending became apparent to her as she reflected in their incredibly successful lives, where they were already living it. And it was something that her husband had always pointed out to her all along. And she realized that by her relaxing and accepting her own unique expression, spaciousness naturally emerged and held their collective gifts together. Now, finally, her love for herself allowed her love for him to come fully through in their daily interactions in life together. And when she got it, you should have seen the tears, man. I mean, they just streamed down her face in this gratitude and appreciation because she was able to see her best friend, lover, and longtime companion through loving eyes and embrace his unique expression and her own. Now, accept people as they are, right? Love them as they are, or don't love them if it means changing who you are. Be true to the circumstance in the moment as life unfolds. Deal with life as it is. Deal with people as they are, or have the courage to move on. Deal with yourself as you are. Get on with it. Get on with yourself. You get real. The true law of attraction brings experiences and people to you who are an exact energetic match to your unique vibration. So check yourself and be yourself. Let all be our true selves. Let everyone be as they are. Okay, that's one of the laws of allowing in reality creation. As life unfolds, allow it to guide and instruct you each and every moment. Be true to each situation. And you are true to life, true to reality, the reality that you want, and allowing that familiar to be more magical than you can imagine. Okay, my honey bunnies, my love bugs, my beautiful divine in the flesh. That is my speech for part 1 of this part 12 of our 13-part series. Now, next time we're going to do part 2, and we're going to really get into the nitty-gritty of some of the shit shows that we create when we start getting lazy. Okay, so please help me grow this channel by giving this video a thumbs up and leaving a comment in the comments box below or in private. Please share this video with your community's friends and family members and on social media platforms you feel would benefit from this content. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that the YouTube will let you know when I upload next. And if you find value, enjoy, or benefit from my content and videos, or at least entertained by them, won't you please consider supporting my work, throwing me a buck or two through a donation? My PayPal link is right below, as is my link tree that hooks you up with all the many different ways that you can connect with me, work with me, support my work, engage me. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me, with your participation and focused attention. I really do appreciate it. I cannot do this work without you. So until next time, my dear, dear hearts, always act from love outside of the matrix, from your center screens, composing a new reality, quantum jumping all of your lifelines. That's right. Let's all do it so that we can be the love that we are. We can share our love. We can create. We can make art, make music. We can make love. And you can help me repopulate the true quantum field, creation field universe. Here's to love, truth, and beauty, my beautiful waking gods and goddesses. Mwah!